Welcome to a new edition of Inappropriate Earl. I'm not really sure what edition this will be because we're going out of sequence right now. And we got very special guest today, the most controversial man in LA comedy, Carlos Herrera. Took a sabbatical from the scene. And his partner in crime, Eric, back in the New York Gruber. He's a controversial figure himself. We're going to jump right into the meat of the bone. We also have Lois here. Lois will be just supervising things while my producer, Ari Manis, is currently on his way to Oregon doing some shitty Tribble run. But we're going to get right into it. Carlos is already texting. He's a real Palmer. Carlos has taken a break from the LA comedy scene. How about speaking into the mic?
You told me I couldn't speak into the mic. You waved me off.
Well, because I'm trying to intro you guys.
Okay, well, I'm here now.
And this is going to be the hottest podcast since the Esther pilot, which Carlos was a part of. And I think Sandy farting was the best part of the episode.
I watched it on the computer right here at your place.
I know. Even my computer said turn this off. I haven't seen overacting.
You're getting controversial. I'm not controversial. It's everyone around me.
Stick closer to each other.
Neither controversial nor are we part of the LA comedy scene. I think you got two things wrong about that.
Yeah, I didn't take a sabbatical.
Well, you actually did. It was more of a forced sabbatical. And you guys also probably the most controversial episode ever in the scene of LA comedy, the joke thief takedown. You guys were the masterminds of the
2009.
Yeah, 2009. We're going back a little bit here.
A while ago.
This is a retro show. Carlos, what have you been up to lately?
This is WTF.
No, this is FTW. Fuck the world.
Is that what black people mean when they write that on Twitter?
I don't know what black people mean. I believe in all races. They're allowed on a new social networking site that I'm developing called Black Facebook. Hello.
How long have you been doing that show?
Probably
07.
About that's been with me since 05 when I was king of the open mics in the Valley. And then
which you still have the title of.
I do. I've been told I'm
Van Nuys to North Hollywood.
Van Nuys to North Hollywood and certain parts of Ventura and Woodland Hills.
Oof.
I've been called the Dane Cook of shitholes.
So is he?
Well. Now,
Very proud of that title.
That's all I got. That's all I got in LA comedy.
You.
Yeah. Why don't you guys interview me? And
can we look at your history list on your computer?
No. I took my computer into the Mac store at the Beverly Center, and for whatever reason, the guy had to hit G, and ghettogaggers.com popped up like 140 times. And he was an African American. Roses. But you turned me on to Backpage.com.
Oh, I didn't.
Well, he was
controversial king of Backpage.
But now he's getting.
Why am I so controversial?
Because you're like you're kind of like the Angeline of LA comedy. You're everywhere, but you're nowhere.
It's that girl that the
pink Cadillac or whatever?
the Corvette.
Pink Corvette.
Yeah.
I used to see her at my gym at 6 a.m, boys.
What gym?
Aren't all the gyms your gym?
Sports Connection on Ocean Park.
You check into every gym every day.
It's the only thing that keeps me sane.
You used to live out by Ocean Park?
No. Well, no, it's not. But I mean, it just occupies my time.
I already went to the gym today.
I know you're ham and egging it at Equinox, trying to.
I know. I had a nice steam.
I
Saw the
bet
guy
you
from
did.
Mean Girls in the locker room. It was a nice time. The guy. Yeah. He's always there.
Who did I see there yesterday? The black guy from Sons of Anarchy.
Are you okay?
Billy Brown.
Are you okay?
He's a good actor, man. I went right up to him. Said August. That's his name in the show.
What'd he say back?
He's like, "What's up, man?"
fuck away from me. It's
Pretty much. I mean, I kind of.
time. I'm not going to tell you another time. Get away from me.
So you're Officer Mike Anderson from Dexter. I mean, he's.
Remember when I ran into you on Holloway in La Cienega at 7-Eleven at 3 in the morning?
Oh yeah, that was the same night I met the guy from Lethal Weapon, Edo Ross. You know, the guy in the nightclub scene where they're trying to intimidate with the lighter.
Yeah, I know. I was leaving the Holloway Motel.
Yeah, you
The
were.
the Alta Cienega Motel. It's where Jim Morrison used to live.
Yeah, well, Morrison.
Chick named Jim Morrison.
Right. That.
Jamie Morrison.
Yeah, Jamie Salita. Jamie Salita is one of the most beloved homosexual comics in the community, and he's offered to be my first if I ever fray into the world of.
Super fragile Asian gay guy.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said I would be an otter in the gay scene. That's what my title would be. I don't know, but I would be an otter. So I'm not like a bear or like a twink or anything. I would just be an otter.
I would be a jackhammer top.
You've really looked into this, haven't
And,
you?
It's really detailed. You mean you are a jackhammer top?
And
I thought
think-
it was just top or bottom, but you're like a whole new level. There's different variations of top.
Yeah, there's jackhammer top. There's pig tops who'll do anything. I just want making sure this is recording. Oh yeah, we're live. Oh yeah,
We're not live.
I mean, this is gonna get about as many hits as your podcast, Alley Cats or whatever it was called. I mean, that thing had the setup of a ham radio station. You know, I'm in a kitchen talking about steam room stories.
Steam Room today was great.
Oh, I bet it was. Would you see Brian Drolet from the Hills in there?
Your old coworker.
Yeah, damaged goods. And
Whatever happened to your pilot?
dude, I think the pilots on 9/11 had a better day.
This podcast is just best of Earl's back of the room assassinations.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever been to the Comedy Store late night,
No one has ever. It's just us and like two other people.
A couple ham and eggers in the back, just making fun of people, and then usually at the end of the night, I'll whip out my dick and do a Buffalo
Career
Bill impression.
suicide is what it is.
That means you had a career.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, I was in a Doritos commercial like 5 years ago.
Well,
Like the first commercial you got, like your first year in LA, you got a commercial.
Got my first two nationals.
National commercial.
So,
when?
this is like in 88, dude.
Still collecting money off of it?
Yeah, dude, I gotta rejoin SAG to collect. I've got,
How's it been going since then?
well, here's the thing. I got first two auditions: a United Airlines commercial and a Pepsi commercial.
What do you do in the United? They have United Airlines commercials?
Yeah, they did with Mike Singletary. I was a football player in the 50s, and then they go from football players on the train.
Did you see this on YouTube?
No,
you don't have
no,
to pitch
so-
me the commercial. It's
No,
over
no, and
there.
then they go from we're football players in the 50s traveling on some shitty train, and then they go to like Mike Singletary on the Concorde. It's like the difference between
Oh, okay.
decades. And then the Pepsi commercial, I was the star of the commercial.
What'd you do? You just drank a Pepsi?
That we were losing the game, and
Are you a
I'll-
football player and everything?
no, hockey commercial. It was a hockey, and
Are you sure you didn't just write this?
Don't you have a jersey room?
yeah, but I'm out of the Jersey world. It's just ever since
Jersey room.
Yeah, you spent $1 million on authentic game worn jerseys.
ever since Barry
Moved
Katz.
to New Jersey.
That, but Barry, I did a pilot for Barry Katz, and right before I went on, he's like, "You can't wear those on stage." I'm like, "Why not, man?" He's like, "The fucking logos, you dummy."
When
And he
was
said that literally as I'm about to go on. So then I bombed horribly. I knew I was in trouble when Dave Taylor was the only one laughing at my set. And, real dark and dirty. Whitney was the host.
I
so-
remember. How long ago was that?
That was.
Sardos?
Oh no! That was Eli Whitney was the host of that. Oh, see, you're not gonna get this kind of humor on anyone else's podcast. It's just,
For a
You're
reason.
just not going to get this kind of
yeah.
I thought you were gonna go with that actually.
It's a standard, hey, tell us about your, not on Inappropriate Earl. We're gonna get right to the dirt, the meat of the bone.
Whitney hosted a Barry Katz stand-up pilot
at the Comedy Store.
Main room?
Yeah, packed main room,
Really?
cameras everywhere, lights. I mean, it was the full production.
Usually the lights are on no matter what. All right.
So, not in the main room. That place is as dark as a set of Roots most nights. Hey, a little hint out there. Just watch Roots backwards. It ends better. Hey.
I heard you tell that joke on a podcast 20 minutes ago.
I know.
About Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, yeah.
12 years a slave.
A lot of people don't know this, but if you watch Dallas Buyers Club or Philadelphia backwards, they get healthier. Hey. Tom Hanks gains weight, the lesions disappear, and he's just banging away, holed up with his boyfriend Joey in the bathhouses.
Jesus.
Dumb bastard. That's my Bill Duke line from American Gigolo.
Oh,
Checking in with Lois right now. Lois, anything to say?
nothing.
Lois undefeated at Michael Vick's house, 12-0. Hello. So let's get back on topic. We strayed a bit,
What was the topic?
No topic.
The topic was
Meat of the bone?
the meat of the bone. I mean, you
You ever
know,
have the bone marrow at Moza?
bone of the meats. It might be the worst podcast ever. I mean, how are we done? Let me check the recording time.
2 minutes have passed.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, at when I get a little more up to speed with
What's
technology.
what network are we on?
This is going to be on. I think Ari Manis's stand-up.
What other podcasts are on it?
Well, he's got Jeremiah Watkins.
Okay.
Melissa Villasenor.
Future Matt TV star. Okay.
Yeah. And then I think he's got
The not working network.
this guy always networking. This guy's the only guy who's networking on an unaired podcast yet. Trying to get in with Villasenor. Maybe you can submit one of your spec scripts to Mad TV.
Workaholics or New Girl?
Well, I mean, I got a spec script I just gave to Lorenzo Lamas's people, Renegade. Black Ice is a very good book being turned into a movie right
What's
now.
the stamp that says draft on it? What draft is it?
It's the
They're all
first draft.
Oh.
Don't you know about fucking Hollywood, baby? And right next to Black Ice is Stephen Piercy's book, The Singer for Rat. I'll be You Can Be a Badass. That's my new book, man.
You are a badass. How to stop doubting your...
Greatness and start living an awesome life. It's by a girl.
I know, but I mean, that's why this podcast is capable of being aired, because I finally found my inner soul.
Yeah, you're a 3% guy.
I'm a 3% guy.
What does that mean?
Body fat?
No,
Oh,
no.
yeah, I thought that too. Say what it means, Earl.
97% of guys don't know how to treat chicks, man, and you got to be a 3%er.
How do you treat chicks then?
Only use the phone and
Text?
never text. Use the phone for dates only, and so you don't talk on the phone a lot. Because if you talk on the phone a lot, then what's the point of meeting up?
True, man.
Well, I mean, a lot of guys do.
Earl in 2013, apparently.
It's a new Earl, man. I mean, I took
Chatting up with waitresses on the phone.
You just got to throw enough meat out on the line to get some bait back. I mean,
Eric's just reading the book now.
yeah.
Once you know what the beast looks like, you can slay it.
Yeah, it's true.
Wait, Earl, I want to talk about your dick pic you keep sending me.
That's made its rounds, hasn't it?
Well, I mean, dick pics in the comedy world are like trading cards. I mean, you got to
Who else has dick pics?
you got to get on
The Horsemen?
Our neighbors.
Well, yeah, but
Sending to the same girls.
we're one of the and guys. I mean,
Yeah, you sent it to me. I forget.
I like to say. Well, it all started one night because Jeff Richards asked what my ex-lady friend's vagina looked like. So I sent him. I said, "Here it is," and it was my dick pic.
Yeah, is it that picture you sent me?
The first one.
Yeah, you like.
I only got one. Yeah, you sent me.
Oh yeah, I sent it to Gruber. Yeah, I sent it to him.
Well, let me.
I sent it to Stephanie Simbari too, per your request at the weights
No, I
area
told
at
you
Equinox.
to send it to certain people just to get it out there in circulation, and
Got any, what's the response been?
the response is
Two
ooh,
thumbs down.
2 balls up.
Thumbs up your ass.
I mean, this is. I mean, that's the real deal.
Earl just shut. Okay, Lois is scratching now.
Lois has seen it before.
even Lois has seen a lot of things in this house. I mean, this is the real deal here. Now,
How much was this condo again?
This condo was in 2001, $371. I bought it from 2 gay drug dealers, turnkey, as they say in the real estate business. And
They throw in a key.
yeah, they throw in a key you can turn, and you can, here we are. We got a 70-inch TV. Great to watch porn on. And,
I know you send me pictures of.
You watching porn?
And every time I see Matthew
All
Modine,
his VHSs.
oh, those are hockey fight tapes.
That's your. Porn.
There's literally
Yeah.
50 of them right there.
And then whenever I see Private School on with Matthew Modine, I take a screenshot of it and tweet it to him. And
Have you ever
he
gotten
tweets
a
me
reply?
back, dude.
Really?
He tweets me back every single time.
Really?
I'm like, hey, look who's
How
getting.
many followers does he have?
Probably like 30,000.
Who is he, Esther? Oh.
It's well, Esther's working it. She's out there on the beat. I mean, I don't really see her too much anymore, but
She's on the east side.
Full Metal Jacket, right?
yeah, he was a private joker,
Right.
and
Parody porn and just call it Full Metal Jacket.
well, I mean, I got a few parody porns in production right now as we speak.
Really? They're in development?
Yep, one's they're in development at Tit and the Ringer Productions.
Okay.
One's about hockey called Two Girls in a Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
and,
heard that one.
And then one's about stunt work called Jackass to Mouth. And, in 3D. Johnny Coxville is he's yeah. I mean, and then all right, let's
Meat of the bone.
the meat. You are getting engaged, or you are engaged?
Yeah, I am engaged.
Ridiculous.
You know what? Eric saw it and he texted me, and I was driving back to LA, and Eric goes, "Congratulations! Totally thought you were gay."
Eric who?
Gruber, your other guest. Jesus, dude.
Who's the Gruber?
Do you not know his first name?
Wait,
Dude, I thought
where's
his
your
name was
ring
Gruber.
though? What kind of engagement is this? You don't even have a ring.
What?
Off when you go to the gym?
I don't wear the.
Yeah.
It's for women.
You take it off when you go to Equinox so you can bird dog those.
How many
twats.
men wear an engagement ring?
Most people get engaged. They
No,
all
I
do.
thought just the
Did
woman.
you get
wear-
her a ring?
Yes, obviously.
Where'd you get it from? Zales? Yeah. Where'd you get the ring from?
I got it on Etsy.com.
Etsy.com.
From some. No, it's nice. I got it from some like gold shop out in
Yeah,
San
I
Francisco.
bet. Yeah, most guys get a gold engagement ring. What are you, the two
No,
guys?
it's called Gold Adore. It's
What are you guys
it's
from?
also the name of a brothel.
What did you guys get it from? The two Arab guys from Casino?
No, it's nice. It costs a pretty penny.
Now, yeah. You shine the penny up and gave it to the Arab guy with the loop.
Jesus. No, yeah, I am engaged. I didn't know I was supposed to wear an engagement ring. I've never heard of that.
Now, where did you meet this broad?
I met her at a comedy show.
Now, this is because you have kind of transformed from the Hollywood comedy scene into the alt scene. You're an alt comic now.
No, I mean, I just want to do comedy. I'm not an alternative comedian.
Tragedy. It's a tragedy.
I'm an alternative tragedy.
You've been at the Comedy Store. You've been, I think, a few times at the Factory. You set up home base at the Improv for a little bit, and then you...
I might be going back there, by the way.
Yeah, what? On a Comedy Juice to rub elbows with Ben Glebe? Trying to get on his podcast and maybe rub up against Brian Scalaro?
Jesus, dude. I haven't been to the Improv on a Comedy Juice night in a while.
So how do you know this broad? You met her at some alt comedy show.
Yeah. No, she does not have a podcast.
Everyone has a podcast now.
No, I met her at a comedy show in Los Feliz through my friend Sean. Yeah, Palace through my friend Sean. Really? What happened?
Let's get to
Wait.
this part. We'll get to your sham engagement. Why did you eat it at the Palace?
It was an alt scene, and I got nervous, and there was too many people, and
How much time did you have?
it felt like 3 hours. It was 3 minutes. It was terrible.
What is an alt crowd? Like people who would find Brody funny?
Everyone finds Brody funny.
But I mean, people who would be like, "Oh, this guy's
No, it was a
different."
bunch of people talking about the mic. It was like, it was like all self-referential, kind of like, "Oh, I'm an open micer." "Oh, this scene's the best."
You just did material.
Yeah, I did material. It was dumb. I just got thrown for a bit.
I'm gonna do Earl's jokes at the Palace next week.
You should,
See if they
dude.
go
Maybe
over.
I could make the jump into being an alt comic.
I always tell you to come with me to the mics.
Yeah, but I can't do open mics in my mid-40s anymore. It
Yeah,
just-
I really and the mics that like it was just a sea of comedians. There was not
Yeah.
one real like audience member there. Like in the whole in the whole block, it seemed there was not one real person.
yeah, I mean,
I just like didn't want to make these idiots laugh.
I really don't care about making Eric Charles Nielsen laugh.
He
I
has
mean, he's a
credits.
nice guy. Yeah,
I
he's
saw him on the Community season 5 premiere.
yeah,
Tomorrow show with him. He's fun.
he's a cool
Did
guy.
you do it this Saturday?
No.
Oh.
Wow.
What are you on the 12 Shiny Nickels show
That doesn't even exist anymore.
with Bilac trying to get in with the Boner City crowd? You and O'Neill can talk about the Baby Esther and. I mean,
It's
technically,
not the Boner City crowd. I thought
That
we were
might
talking
be.
about
I mean, you know.
Population fucking Earl.
we're working for a network home. If Ari Manis doesn't, get it together.
Who are your sponsors on this? Who you
I'm
gonna
working
plug
on
before-
sponsors. We got Hot
N101?
Rod,
Pills.
Hot Rod 5000 is
Seriously, you're trying to get them?
express interest.
They expressed interest. Who did you contact? And then they said, we're
They got
interested.
a boner.
And also the pill Black Snake.
I've never taken Black Snake.
It works, man.
I've never taken a dick pill ever. Explain what a dick pill
Well,
does.
how old are you?
32.
All right. Well, I'm 13 years older than you, man. So, I am, dude. I mean, I'm trying out for Old Faces in Montreal. It's gonna be me and
Get
Argus.
you hard, or it's just
Get you hard and
Gets you off. Easy to
both.
Yeah.
I mean, when you blow it out, you're able to. When you blow out the baby batter throughout your wormhole,
Jesus.
you can
That's what this fucking podcast should be called.
the baby batter, the worm germ. But and then Black Snake makes it bigger. I mean, trust me, when girls see
So
what
was
I
that picture? How much dick pills were you on?
I know I was on no dick pills in that
such a lie.
picture. I swear to God.
When
I
are you
swear to
not
God.
on dick pills?
Aren't you always on?
Have you been taking the semen shooters?
No, I don't really care about blowing out baby batter in volume. I mean, I just want the girl to, when she sees John Henry come out of his pants.
Henry?
Why did
John
you
Henry, he's an old friend of mine.
Why did you name your dick John Henry?
It's just the way, I thought he needed a name, and John Henry was my favorite racehorse as a child.
Who has a favorite? Only a Skako has a favorite racehorse.
But I used to be
Go to the Kentucky Derby every year.
is showing.
I used to be heavily involved in the thoroughbred racing
Were you a
community.
fluffer?
Yeah, I mean, Seattle Slew,
No, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Affirmed, Aladar, the famed White
What
Horse.
happens if you watch Seabiscuit backwards?
I jack off, and then there was the great White Horse Vigors.
What?
Vigors was the best horse to watch because he would always start out dead last. I mean, he was so far back you couldn't even see him in the camera, and then as they would enter the final stretch, he would just race and win. I mean, he
Where
just
would you go watch these races?
at Hollywood Park,
Isn't that
which
closing?
they just closed down.
Oh, it's tragic.
I got a tip once from a black guy wearing no shoes, and cost me about $50,000.
Really?
I had the pick six. Which is you have to pick the six straight winners. I think it's from the 3rd to the 9th race, and if you pick all 6, you win. You can win like $100,000 or whatever it was. I had the numbers. This black dude with
Hey, what were you about to say? No.
this dark skinned. We gotta get the sound effects in for that. It's like when Ric Flair did that one clip of talking about Herschel Walker. He's like, for all you black folk out there, and you know what word he really wanted to use. I just had an audition
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
for Sons of Anarchy.
Really?
Yeah.
Who sent you out?
It's my favorite. The Rain Agency, commercial and theatrical in Santa Monica.
What is it called?
The Rain, R-E-I, I guess.
GN.
Laura Suhu.
The horse's reign.
Or Silver Rain on, a strip club on
Silver
Olympic
Rain.
and Bundy. And
I've been there.
I bet you have. I bet
It's
you
right
have
next to Plan B, right?
I have a VIP card to Silver Rain. Under
Wait,
the
how did you get the VIP card?
Trust me, don't worry about it.
It's a punch card, isn't it? It's not a
Yeah,
VIP.
well, I'm on number 9. I get a free lap.
Free Subway sandwich.
I get a free.
You're eating at a strip club?
3 foot long.
Yeah. The roast beef looks like something they threw away at the vaginal rejuvenation clinic.
Jesus.
Girl, I went to a fully nude place once on Laurel Canyon.
Valley?
Yeah, Deja Vu. They had a great tagline: thousands of pretty women, 3 ugly ones.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
And I think the 3 ugly ones were working that night. And
I like that one. What's Foreplay? I've been there with Gruber, right?
oh
Have we been
yeah,
there?
Is that in the west side?
Yeah, it's on Cotner.
I think Gail is a friend who works there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gail.
Gail. Judy Geller, Fantasy Island.
Yeah, why haven't we been to Fantasy Island yet?
There's too many,
Too many spies.
Earl like befriended her. It's like gotten in the friend zone with a stripper from Fantasy Island.
Yeah. Welcome, my friends, to Fantasy Island.
Where'd you meet her? Oh yeah, pavilions.
I met her at pavilions in the watermelon aisle.
There's no watermelon aisle, by the way. There's just
And
a
I
little air.
And I said, wow, check out those watermelons. And she lifts up her shirt and goes, they're not as nice as these. I'm like, ooh.
It didn't happen.
I swear to God. That's where I first met Ava from Fantasy Island. If you're ever in the West LA area, please go see Ava.
You gonna be on the podcast?
She will, only when I have camera ready, because,
Camera ready for
they-
your own.
we got to have a 2-camera shoot, like there, and then...
Why not? I'm not on the camera one.
Well, it's just too much money right now. It's like
All right,
$5,000.
well, bring me back on the camera one.
You got to buy a splitter, and it's just like...
What, are you gonna have a whole production here?
I'd like to.
Yeah. Ari Manis doesn't have that in his.
Well, I have to pay for everything, so
That's a good producer.
it's,
This
we're,
tells you how to work your own things.
we're kind of a low budget production. This is where the peanuts and popcorn would be. That's so. Anyway, I have this audition for Sons of Anarchy as white supremacist number 5.
Did you get it?
Well, I can't
There's
believe
nothing more perfect for you.
Based on you as well.
I can't believe they found 4 guys more racist than me. So I went in there very very intimidating audition. Kurt Sutter was there. He's the creator of the show, writer of the show. And they had the main black actor, Billy Brown. He's the leader of the black gang on Sons of Anarchy.
You have to call him the N-word.
Well, that's the thing. I go in there and they're like, would you shave your head? Would you shave your head? I'm like, yeah, it grows back. He's like, well, would you get extensive tattoos? I'm like, they're not permanent. He's like, no, it's henna tattoos, but it'll take about 12 hours to put on, and it will last for about a month and a half. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It'll wash out. He's like, well, this is a question we've lost a lot of people on. Are you comfortable seeing the N-word on camera? And I just leaned in and said, and get paid? And I haven't heard back from him. And I had to say the line where I had to say, the
dirty word.
It was, yeah, man, I'm not going to sell any more guns to the Mayans and the... And
Mayans?
Yeah, which is the Mexican gang on the show. So I kept screwing up the word Mayans just so I could say the second word over and over again. And I think that might have been an error in judgment. So,
When was this audition?
Actually, it never happened. I just made the story up.
Jesus,
I just wanted to.
dude. That's a false premise.
No, it actually happened. I go out on a lot of auditions, and
yeah?
I'm just trying to make it. Benchwarmers too. A lot of unanswered questions.
A lot of commercial auditions.
A lot of commercial auditions, and it's crazy. It's a whack. You were in the business behind the camera at one point, didn't you? Work the mail room at TriStar.
TriStar.
Now he works the mailroom at Studs.
Yeah, Studs is the
now he's a mailman.
yeah, the mailman. I used to play hockey with O.J. Simpson's mailman. So. Black Bruce.
Black Bruce.
Yeah, he's a real...
Yeah, I worked in the mailroom. It's just like anything. I just delivered mail with a suit on.
What agency?
I was at APA as an assistant at William Morris as mailroom guy, and then like a floater in the talent department.
Oh, I bet you were a floater. Yeah.
That's the term.
Now, why didn't you stick behind the scenes?
I don't know. I wanted to do comedy. I wanted to write. You can't really do those things when you're at an agency.
But you don't do them now.
Jesus, dude. I was on a pilot last year.
Yeah, I saw it.
On YouTube.
You got...
Oh, yeah, is it still up?
You got the acting chops of Triple H in a wrestling sketch.
Is that good or bad?
The other guest doesn't even know what the reference is.
I mean, your acting is about on par with John Cena.
Jesus.
Do you know who John Cena is?
He's a wrestler.
Yeah.
Is he a congressman?
Well, he might be.
I know Dolph Ziggler.
He's like hockey, horse racing, and wrestling.
And escorts.
Escorts.
Arrows guide.
Yeah, but you make it seem like I'm the guy who likes all these hookers and rub outs.
Oh, who else does?
You tell me about them.
Jesus.
Hey Earl, go on Backpage. It's a great site. Hey Earl, go on Arrows. Hey Earl, go on LA-exotics.com.
Earl called me at 3 a.m. like a couple months ago to tell me a story about going to LAX.
Oh man.
And then he flew away on vacation.
I flew away on vacation. I mean,
The Ramada Inn at LAX.
I used to do a comedy show there at the Ramada Inn.
Yeah.
On Century?
Yeah, real situation.
Every Thursday night you do a comedy show.
Yeah. I mean, you sometimes, if you don't have a lot of TV credits in this business, you have trouble getting stage time. So you have to go to, let's just say, darker parts of town.
Darker parts.
The VFW. I did a show in the VFW area the other night. Very few whites, and I literally was told because of the color of my car that I had to get out of there by 10 o'clock.
That's so fun.
It was
you were in a Crip area?
Crip neighborhood, and I have a...
Where were you? You have
I
a
was
red
on
car.
Crenshaw and Normandy at the Reginald Denny Comedy Palace.
Yeah.
It's an all-brick building. Hey. Now, what are you guys up to now? I mean, we've covered a lot of ground. Not really, but we've covered... Gruber, what are you up to? Where do you go up? I mean...
What am I up to? I'm just excited I got through the holidays. I don't know. Where did I go up? I'm going to go to the Comedy Store tonight. I took a little break from the Comedy Store. I'm going to go back tonight. Was at Flappers the other night.
Yeah, that's a great venue.
Yeah.
They've had more bad shows than Spike TV.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going out wherever I can. I took a little break. I took like a break over the holidays to, I kind of got burnt out on comedy, which just seems very easily. It's a horrible fucking scene.
Oh, it's awful.
It's awful. But I'm back and I'm feeling okay.
I bet.
I did some spots in New York over the holidays, which was fun. I like New York better.
There's more shows.
There's more shows, and there's just the people, there's like real people like walking around. It's not I drove here, I drove down Santa Monica, and it's like all these beautiful, happy people everywhere. And I was like, oh, give me some real miserable people. That's what I want to see walking around.
Yeah.
And that's what New York was like. So I don't know. I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing, I guess.
Because you and Carlos are one of the funnier dudes I know, and
oh, they're sweet.
we're just, it's a shame guys like us have to resort to this podcast to get any traction. What are you doing with sunglasses
These
on?
are nice sunglasses.
What are you, Glenn Fry in the Sexy Girl video?
These are nice sunglasses. Warby Parkers.
Yeah, where'd you get those?
They're from New York.
The same place you got the silver ring from Zales. Now, did you ask your lady friend to marry you, or
No, I threw it at her face and said, "Man, what do you think I did?"
I don't know. That's what.
Summer.
How do you know this
Yeah.
girl's the one?
I don't know, Earl. I just figured it out.
Well, how did you figure it out?
I just thought about it one
I
day.
mean, this means no longer can you go out with your big-titted writer friends on the prowl at the Pikey bar or the
Greenberg. That's who he's talking about. So he ran into her at the comedy store.
I ran into
dude.
him
I met some girl, huge tits. I mean, she was huge tits, dude. Was she with a wrestler? She said she knew you.
Yeah, I mean that was I think New Year's Eve night at the comedy store.
New Year's. I was at a nice restaurant that night, Cliff's Edge on Sunset.
Where?
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. Oh, Gleason told me.
I bet she did.
Highland Park.
Yeah, I was at Equinox, and then I went to
Champagne.
popping something. I mean, a lot of flying objects in that place. I mean, Equinox is out of control. I think instead of you have to do a retinal scan to get into the executive locker room, but with the makeout of that place, I think they should do an anal scan.
Wormhole scan.
Yeah. You can currently see the star of Dumbbells, Fabio.
He's great.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I mean,
He's been going there for years, as long as I've been going.
I actually admire Fabio. I mean, there's a guy with very little acting talent who still gets work.
Does he?
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy with a romance cover still.
Are you a talented actor?
I think when it's the role is right for me, I can
like hockey player, racist,
pedophile. I'm not a racist. I'm, see, that's the bad thing about a guy.
The truth. That's a bad thing about the truth is that everyone calls me a racist.
First of all, I don't say the N-word in public.
No, instead you go no.
Right. I mean, I'll tell you the first time I heard that word. It's a great story.
Bel Air Country Club, right?
Bel Air Country Club. Playing golf, shot bogey golf on the front nine of Bel Air, which is bogey golf is 1 over par for every hole. So you shoot 9 over. You shoot 45 at Bel Air for the men's tees. You're pretty good for someone who doesn't practice. So I ran home. I told my Uncle Jim. I said, Uncle Jim, I just shot bogey golf on the front nine of Bel Air. He looks at me. Now I can't say the word, so I'm gonna substitute Armenian for the N-word.
Say black.
No, I can't. So Armenian is the N-word here.
You can say what it's your podcast.
I know, but I can't. I don't believe in that word. So
yeah.
I don't
believe it exists.
I don't say that word in public. And
say it in public, actually.
right. So I said, Uncle Jim, I shot bogey golf on the front nine of Bel Air, and he looks at me and goes, Earl, that's Armenian golf.
That story isn't as good without the word involved.
But not knowing what that word meant,
and then you.
I go down to the caddy yard the next day where they're all Armenian. Wink, wink. And Eddie Vedder, what's he have to do with this? And I said, the biggest Armenianist caddy. Hey, big Armenian Ray. My uncle said I shot Armenian golf. And he looks at me and goes, Earl, we love your uncle, but don't ever say that word again.
Your life changed.
Why not? So.
Obviously didn't take that.
Yeah, you didn't listen to him at all.
I mean, listen, I marched with the blacks.
The opposite direction.
In the opposite direction. Guys stepping on my punchlines. You're the worst podcast guest ever.
I'm keeping it going.
You're keeping it going. It never gone. Gone. So you got your Red Bull with you. What's a day in the life of Carlos? Our viewers want to know.
Your listeners want to know. They're not viewers. They're listeners.
Well, they're probably not listening either. So.
I've been getting up early lately. Wait, Eric, what time do you get up?
Between 9 and noon.
As soon as he kicks, the girl out and beat it.
No, I used to get up like at 1 every day.
Right.
My life, I would get up at 1 at my place in Laurel, go down to
Name dropping streets.
Yeah.
Well, it's on the street I live on. It's
What's
Crescent
the
Drive.
street you live on? I mean, let's
9067 Crescent Drive.
All right, get Google Earth. Everyone go there, say hello to Carlos. He'll be the guy with the New Girl script burning in the fireplace.
When are you going to come over?
I've never been invited.
Oh, yeah.
I get the feeling you and your lady friend, I might not vibe with her.
Why not? Why wouldn't you? She lives with me. Why wouldn't you vibe with her? Yeah.
I don't think she would like my sense of humor. She seems like very like.
Seems like. What, do you know her?
No, I could just tell by her picture what kind of chick
What
she is.
picture did you see?
Some picture you guys posing like a lovebird Match.com photo at but
that our mom put up. Richard's commented on it, something about cream, and
Yeah.
I texted him, "You're a real Armenian."
So I mean, this is this is the way it is, man. I can just tell by her look.
She's cool.
She's an alt scene girl. She probably wouldn't get my fucking Lorenzo Lamas references, and alt scene people have a different sense of humor than I do.
What's your sense of humor?
My sense of humor,
Dude, it's high end. It's a
is,
high end sense of humor.
high end '80s freaker.
Freaker.
Hair metal comedy.
80s, yeah. I mean, I'm like the 80s metal Dean Del Rey. I mean,
Then what is he?
he's like the 90s grunge, freaker.
Yeah, I asked Earl before you got here. I was like, "Are you gonna hook up with Judy Geller?" And he goes, "Oh, well, she's been with too many freakers back in the day."
Well, I mean, no. I mean, she's been with like Steve Stevens, the guitar player from Billy Idol, who is the reason I got a pair of beautiful silver pants the other day at Barney's.
How much?
Because I was watching you ever that instrumental from Top Gun? Is it?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, dude.
Wait for the whammy bar to come in.
You start over.
And he had a pair of silver pants. I'm sure they asked Van Halen first, but he was busy. So they got the great, legendary guitar player Steve Stevens, Billy Idol's Axeman.
It's code name, dude.
Stevie Stevenson. So
Hi,
yeah.
I'm Trader Joe.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Joe Trader. Meet Trader Joe. What we're doing, viewers, listeners, is whenever you go to a strip club or a high-end pussy party in the hills, you never give your real name. You
Johnny Sepulveda.
Yeah, Sepulveda Johnny. Stephen Michaels. Hi, this is my friend Michael Fitzpatrick. Meet Patrick Fitzmichael. Hi, this is John Hancock. Meet Hancock John. So this is, you're probably going, what is the point of this podcast? And it's really just so the three of us can, we were part of the greatest takedown in comedy history. There was.
I got a text about it the other day.
I mean, that show is still talked about. When was that?
By you right now.
Right. Hello. Lois is getting a little unnerved.
She's a Jason Garrett fan.
Yeah. Lois takes vagina. Lois, my dog, got labia reconstruction. But let's talk about the mostly normal show. That's how we have to, though, because we have history, the three of us.
Yeah, we do.
I don't remember how we met. How did the?
How we had to headline last minute because Peretti dropped out.
Oh
Yeah.
I don't know how we met at the store. I'd imagine.
Yeah, we thought you were funny from the back of the room at the comedy store.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking you were funny on the you did a King Kong rape joke, or no? What was his end game?
Yeah, right. We're at Red Rock.
Right, which was funny to me because I
hated Red Rock.
Red Rock was all right. I mean, it was.
I was insecure.
Yeah, but you still are, dude.
I didn't like my peers.
Well, they didn't like you either. So, I mean,
I like him now. I didn't like him at the time.
You were kind of back then seen as kind of a high-end gopher mook. I mean,
wait, can you explain exactly what that is?
Yeah,
a high-end.
I mean, you were just like
mook.
some dude who was like on the scene giving advice. I mean, hey, do this joke here. I mean,
I've literally never done that.
Oh my God,
We were never on the scene. We were like 3 seconds into comedy. There was no scene.
Yeah, but this guy's what they call in the Hollywood business. He was a real Palmer Woodrow. I mean, just always trying to glad hand his way onto shows and getting in with the Jay Davis crowd and all the high-end Hollywood room freakers. And, always, and possibly the worst host ever.
That's the story we should tell.
But let's get to the mostly normal. You guys had a show at the Hollywood Improv.
the lab.
The lab,
Yeah.
the Improv
We
lab,
have to make sure that's clear.
where it was, sketches, videos.
Yeah, it was like a talk show, a
Yeah.
variety show.
And then because one time you were doing a bringer show at the Comedy Store,
I did a main room bringer show.
a Burger and Jason Garrett production.
Yep, and I had a friend in the audience who saw Jason Garrett do Mitch Mulaney's set, like word for word, act out for act out. Crazy. It was, and he came up to me. My friend came up to me after the show. Was like, that guy did all Mitch Mulaney's material, and I already didn't like the guy. He was already kind of a dick.
He was rude to you.
Yeah, he was a dick. He was a rude to everybody there. He ran bringer shows at the Comedy Store. He was obviously not a good person.
Why would you say that?
Because you kind of have to be. And it was like that was a Monday night, and I think our show was on a Wednesday night, and so.
Oh, yeah, I was leaving an AA meeting in West Hollywood when Eric texted me. I was walking.
With the log cabin on Robertson?
No, the West Hollywood Recovery Center, dude. It was like 1 a.m. and Gruber hit me up. I remember that.
Oh, I bet.
And all of a sudden, the plan just came to me. I was like, "Oh, I know what we have to do. We've got the show on Wednesday. Let's call him out." And I called you, Earl. And I called Ari Shafir. I called Mac Lindsay. I was like, "Here's what I'm thinking about doing." Tripoli, yeah, and Eleanor, right? Yeah, we call all the heavy hitters of the late night Comedy Store.
All the jackals.
Yeah, and it really was it. Go for Luke.
Go for Mook. What do you call
You stop interrupting him. You're killing the vibe of the story, dude. I mean, so you call all the high end jackalopes.
Honestly, my friend and I was like, it was my roommate at the time, and he was like, "This was Mitch Mulaney's material," and I already hated him. I was like, "Oh, here's what we have to do." It was like immediately that was like, I was like, "Oh, this is a perfect plan." So the next day, I like Facebook messaged him and was like, "Yo, you want to do my show on Wednesday nights?" And he was like, "Sure." And all the time I had the whole idea was to like play the video of Mitch Mulaney doing Mitch Mulaney's act right after this guy, Jason Garrett, did,
Never happened, though.
It barely happened. It was a disaster. I had 48 hours to set it up. I did not set it up properly.
That's an understatement. And I just remember asking you before the show, what if he doesn't do the same jokes? So, I mean, what if he just does other material? And you're like, he will.
Yeah. He didn't have... I had seen him a few times, and he had only ever done that material. He didn't have any other material. And we were right. He did that material. It's not like... The problem wasn't that he didn't do the material. The problem is that I didn't have the video stuff set up properly.
But I think that made it better because
I know.
when you guys were fumbling around like people with their fingers cut off, trying to get Mitch Mulaney's...
I was so nervous. He was on stage with us. It was very weird. It was very uncomfortable. I was already the show already made me nervous.
It was already borderline a mistake. It was already there was something that just doesn't happen. It was, and then we weren't 10 years into comedy at the time where we
no idea that it was going to be as big a deal as it came out to be. I had no idea.
But the energy was unbelievable.
Such a thing that people kept talking about it for a long time that weren't our close friends. It wasn't just you. It was everyone talked about it to a point where we had no idea it was going to become that. 2, we had no idea that anyone was going to give a shit or write about it, which newspapers did. And 3, it almost got annoying because we were like, what did we do?
No idea. My only desire was to take this guy down and to have fun that night. And
why it was so awesome. That was the only intention.
Yeah, he was a joke thief, and but more importantly, he was a scumbag, and he was an asshole, and that's and I didn't like him, and it was it kind of was a perfect storm. It was just oh, this just fell into my lap. let's just do it. And it was no thought as to like the future of kind of like the consequences of it, really even came into play.
Remember, Tripoli was on the fence.
Yeah, Tripoli was like, don't get involved, or like, don't,
Bobby Lee even said later on, he was like, so what? People steal jokes. Why don't you just go write some more? And like, the all advice was a little too late. but no, the funny, my favorite part of the show was one, Sandro Iocolano went up and left because he thought he didn't do well because he didn't even know it was gonna happen.
Yeah, nobody knew. There was like 5 people who knew it was gonna
Yeah.
happen.
And then you, me, Earl, Macklin's. Yeah, it's just
the
a couple.
Delta Force.
And the other funny part was we had Chelsea Peretti on the show. She just like moved to L.A. and the show was like running behind by 20.
Late already. It was
It wasn't 20 minutes. It was like
way late.
so. She was the headliner. She goes up first. She just kills.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Earl has to headline after this disaster happens. After the guy runs out, Chris Neff is yelling at him.
Homophobic rants.
Yeah, with Matt Nose filming on his iPhone 3 or whatever. And
I think I think Nos was using his viewfinder.
Well, you go up.
Yeah, you guys threw me to the wolves.
Yeah, and you killed it. It was the best set.
It
of
might
all
have been the
time.
best set I've ever had.
It was the best comedy I've ever seen. Up until that point, I've been doing comedy for a week, but
I mean, I just remember going, I don't want to go up, man. How am I going to follow this? And I mean, this is crazy.
You did great. It's so easy to follow. Like you just ripped on the whole thing. You did great.
Yeah, but I mean, the energy in that. And let me tell you guys something real fast, man. We only have another hour and 29 minutes on the recorder. I've been to Super Bowls. I've been to World Series. I've been to Stanley. I've been to Stanley Cup Finals. I've been to Kentucky Derbies. I've been to the original Kiss reunion shows. I've been to WrestleManias. I've been to the high end of the high-end sporting events, always in the VIP seats because that's how I roll. I mean, I'm not sitting up there with the El Pollo Loco workers.
I don't think anyone that worked at El Pollo Loco was at the Super Bowl.
And nothing beat the energy in that room that night. I mean, it was just like I was expecting Kiss to come out and to the opening chords of Detroit Rock City. And
the fumbling around only made it that much.
You guys playing around with your laptop and Carlos squirming like Jim J. Bullock in the grotto at the Playboy Mansion.
Because it did get around. Like, we only told 5 people, but like the place was packed with people with like who knew that it was going to happen. And so everyone was just on edge. Everyone.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Pamela Walt, who like went with him. They were like friends.
Well.
Yeah, she like came to hang out with him.
I bet. And then literally the guy just disappeared. He literally.
I tweeted the next day that like revenge is a dish best served cold. So
his like comeback. He stole his comeback.
Yeah, but I mean, none of us write scripts anyway, so it's not like he's gonna burn us.
Who cares?
I mean,
he's so inconsequential. It really, looking back, he was so inconsequential to anything that like we probably made a bigger deal than it probably needed to be. Yeah. But it was fun. I had fun. It was like exciting. We made the video afterwards, which was great. And also the best thing, the premiere was amazing. A month later, and the
red carpet.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the best thing, Mitch Mulaney's father and his family like reached out to me and like was very happy and thanked me profusely about defending his honor, and really was very happy that like I like stopped this guy from stealing what was Mitch Mulaney's soul, his work, that really, which that made it all worth it, like forget about all like either the positive press or the negative press that we got from it, or like, the hype that surrounded it. It was cool just to like do it for that reason. That made it kind of all worth it, I guess.
People still talk about it.
They
though.
do. It's
really?
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah, it's like the night of the joke thief takedown.
Yeah.
I've random people at open mics.
I bet. Open Gary too. You love those open mics. But that was the great thing was Mitch Mulaney was like a white comic who could play black rooms. He could play any rooms.
He was a white male black comic.
Right. I mean, I think it's a Wayans Brothers movie.
It's the 90s Chris D'Elia, I think.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, essentially. And then, this guy stealing jokes was not a comic who could play black rooms. I mean,
no, he could barely play white rooms.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, OJ did it.
Yeah.
So outdated.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Well,
terrible.
I can't blame him for doing outdated jokes. I'm doing jokes about a Night Ranger video right now. It's killing. It's killing. Yeah, they did a video called...
Nobody cares.
I'm telling you, dude. No, you can't pee in the middle of a podcast. You got to hold it, dude. I mean, we're going to wrap things up in a minute,
Have we been recording this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This is like an hour.
It started.
Let me see.
we started this.
Let me see. No, actually,
I can't pee, but you can get up to check the time.
I forgot to hit record. I don't think we've been. Oh yeah, we're like at an hour and 10 minutes, man. We're
nice.
not. Yeah, I mean, hello. I mean, you can't pee in the middle of a podcast, you dope. So to bring things full,
I am the host.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get to that.
Another hour.
Let's get to that story. So I was offered to headline a show at the Sunday night, of course, at the American Comedy Company, and I was told I could bring whoever I want.
So you brought 3,000 people.
Yeah, I mean, I made about $20 that show after I had to pay everyone out of my own pockets.
You owe me 50 still.
Dude,
you owe me 50. Yeah, you owe me. I'm literally in your $1 million condo right now. You owe me 50, dude.
Your pay was docked for your performance, so I decided
Willis.
Rocking with Dockin. George Lynch, the guitar player, injects his dick with pork fat. So I know a girl. I know a girl who used to hit the bone zone with him. And
is that a gay club?
No, it might be. Me and Gruber and Carlos want to open up a string of nightclubs in the city, and Sandra wants to get in on the back end. We want to call it the Bone Zone, and then right next door, the Gash House.
The Gash Station.
So, if our comedy careers don't work out, which they probably won't, we're going to be opening up. We're going to be like the Mitchell brothers in San Francisco in the 70s,
Nobody knows who that is.
The string of porn operators back in the Dizzy. So I get this gig. I said, well, I'm the only headliner who had to drive everyone. And pay for the gas. I mean, you guys
We offered.
Yeah, but it's just too late to turn back at that point. So I'm bringing the 8 comics I booked. Plus Dean. Dean, he gets in there. He's a networker. He knows what he puts his finger in the air. He knows which way the wind blows. And
out of D'Elia's ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, who knows? I don't know what's going on. Chris is always nice to me. I'll say that.
Me too.
I mean, he's got a lot of haters because he's just successful. So, I remember meeting D'Elia at my ex-girlfriend's shitty open mic in Reseda, and he was as nice to me now as he was then. So, I mean, listen.
We all love D'Elia here.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, he's the mountaintop, baby. You gotta kiss the brass ring and make sure everyone's in with him. I just want to, everyone's in, man. I mean, I started doing open mics with Whitney at the Sportsman's Lodge. I haven't talked to her since the Barry Katz pilot. I mean, when I went deep on a racial joke out of the chute, and I thought I'd go for it.
Like hockey terms. Deep.
I went Al Davis style, deep, long bomb with a rape joke, and a packed main room. It's a date.
Barry Katz here loves us.
Dude, here's the thing. It was a dating show called One Night Stand Up.
Oh God!
The girl never sees you. She picks from your
Based
act.
on the act.
Yeah, I'm sure she wants to go out with the guy who does the rape joke.
So it's 8 comics. Everyone's killing, everyone's looking at their notes. I'm like, what are you guys doing, man? Let's just freestyle, man. I mean, even guys like Ian Bagg were like, okay, I'm going to do this joke here, I'm going to do this joke there. And he's like been on TV a million times. And then you had other Patrick Keane, some really funny dudes. And the guy before me, Rob Pugh, a Canadian comic, killed. I mean, it's almost a standing ovation. So the card was set for Big Daddy to carry the ball into the end zone. And I get out there and,
You told rat jokes.
that was later. That was the closer. And I thought, well, I'm going to throw the long bomb.
Why? You were already at the 5-yard line. You don't throw the long bomb at the 5-yard line.
You do, though, dude. You do. I should have taken a delay of game penalty so I had more room to throw it. So I said, this was right around the time of the Duke lacrosse rape case where the two black hookers said that the whole lacrosse team raped him, and then it later became known that they were lying. And I said, hey, everyone, the captain of the lacrosse team had a degree in economics. So if anyone knew 47 didn't go into 2, it was this guy. And literally nothing. Dave Taylor in the back laughing.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
And then I got really scared and I did a blacks in hockey joke that I mean, yeah, blacks, they play hockey too, but they have white names. I mean, the only sport left is horse racing. Well, that's not exactly true. The ones doing the work are still black.
Jesus.
And nothing.
Yeah.
And then I just start sweating. Packed main room, cameras on me, Barry Katz in the corner with his arms folded like Belichick on the sidelines. So I get off and he's like, hey man, love the dark stuff. So I thought I was in. And then I never heard back. Everyone got asked to go back on a date but me.
Was that a pilot?
It's a pilot.
But
it never aired.
Yeah.
So, I've done a lot of unaired pilots. So
was Carlos.
Yeah. I mean, Carlos has done more pilots than a pilot fucker. How many pilots have you done?
He's done more pilots than a stewardess.
Right. Hey. How many pilots have you done?
2.
The Esther
one.
pilot?
Yeah. And the second version of the Esther pilot.
So you've basically done one pilot
one
in
pilot.
rough cut form. Now, why didn't the Esther pilot? She has a lot of heat. She's got major backing. Why didn't that ever
They changed
take off?
presidents.
They changed presidents.
They changed president. Yeah.
Right. So Obama's responsible for the Esther
You
pilot.
said it, dude. No,
Well,
the MTV changed presidents, and so it wasn't like a thing anymore.
So the new president didn't like the pilot.
Yeah, they wanted like everything that she wanted to like do a whole new slate. The Esther pilot was like the baby of the former president.
Oh, really? Well, that happens a lot in the music world. Bands get signed, they change presidents, and
Then they don't release
bands
it.
never make it.
Yeah.
So fake it till you make it. By the way, I have an album out on iTunes if anyone's interested in
Earl Alive.
Earl Alive. Currently on
What's the ranking?
in terms of a tune core statistics, I
It
think I
worked.
sold 28 copies in 4 years. So I need some major label to help pick up the ball and get the promotional. It's a really finely recorded album.
Dude, buy a billboard.
I might buy the Dumbbells billboard after that Fabio for Best Actor consideration
It's
goes
like
down.
$1 million a month, probably.
I mean, it's a good album. The jokes are there.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people.
Where is it recorded?
It was recorded with my Zoom recorder, but unfortunately, I had it facing the wrong direction.
So it's mostly crowd.
So no, it's actually mostly the reverberation of my voice against the back wall of the annex at the Ice House.
Wow.
I mean, a lot of people have said the album is so bad that when they downloaded it, they uploaded it right back to me. So I've got a lot of returns to deal with. But that's
That's like your Big Mama's house joke.
Big Mama's house. I never saw. I saw Big Mama's house actually at the Magic Johnson Theater on La Brea. There's 3.
Isn't that where you lived at?
Yeah, Magic. I think that's where he got the HIV. I mean,
Dude.
I had some popcorn there, and I got a lesion about 10 minutes in. Right. Hey, right by Dodger Stadium. Come on, I know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's time to wrap this fucking podcast. This podcast.
That's good improv.
Yeah, well, see, that's why I got kicked out of the Groundlings. I mean, we've been doing. I mean, this, this podcast is just to get people in touch with the LA comedy community.
There's not enough podcast for that.
Future guests will include heavy hitters.
Dude, what are you gonna bring up their names on my episode?
Yeah.
Who was the future guest?
I've got
David Arquette.
Man, sorry. Tentatively scheduled. I've got David Arquette coming in. He's going to talk about
Scream 3.
From Scream 3, his brother, who is now his sister. Rosanna Arquette. Patricia Arquette.
I thought I saw her downtown.
What are you doing? Their Wikipedia page. Here's the great thing about the Arquette family. Their history.
Dude, tell us, please.
Dude, his sister Rosanna was the legendary Toto song Rosanna. That's who that song
really?
is about. Because Jeff Porcaro from Toto, which Toto, a lot of people don't know this, was Michael Jackson's backing band on
I
the
didn't
album.
know that.
Yeah. I think the big ones. And they were all big, I guess. But, I mean, in his prime. Like before he started molesting kids. And, before he started... Well, I mean, listen, when you're playing video games in your underwear giving out cans of soda, I mean, that's probably, maybe shouldn't have been. Whoa, Lois is getting some. Lois must have just had a biscuit. She had a quick burst. So his sister, that was Roseanne, and then his brother, who's now his sister, he had I'm not sure if he had a sex change, but he now lives as a woman. He was the kid in the She's a Beauty video. And, yeah, they do. I'm telling you. I saw the singer from the Tubes once at the gym, Fee Wable. And
Which
show
gym?
You, this was at Better Bodies on Olympic and Olympic and Sawtell. I went to show you what a ham and egger I am.
Oh, it's a good burger place over there.
I went up to this guy, a burger, the comedy store, and I went up to Fee Wable, the singer of the Tubes, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm a big fan. I wish you guys never broke up." And he looked at me and goes, "We didn't. We're playing in Yucaipa Friday." So I opened for the Tubes in Yucaipa. And then, so David Arquette's going to be on the show. I'm trying to get Russell Peters. I'm trying to get Rob Schneider.
Erica Ligney.
I'm trying to get Roller Girl from the Ding Dong Show.
Roller Girl.
I don't think she's in it anymore.
Are you going to have Don Barris?
Don Barris will hopefully be on. I'm trying to get people with followings. So,
yeah.
I mean, just there's so many bad podcasts out there.
Like which ones?
Well, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people.
Kill Earl.
The problem with podcasts is they're
I'm in the Life Squad.
They're so cheap to do. Now you're bombing on a podcast, dude. If these are your alt jokes, you better cut bait. Go out Kurt Cobain style. I'm
in the pro-life squad.
Oh my God, dude! You better go back to the fucking mailroom or Triad. This isn't on the desk squad network. No, I mean, I don't really want to be on a network because I think, and I'm actually being serious. You get lumped in with every show on the network, and no one really goes to see your show. So I'd rather suffer in the beginning and then just build up the name and hopefully gets a following. I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go on Death Squad, there's like 20 shows. There's the Rogan show. There's Kill Tony. I don't know what I'm doing, dude. I mean, you go on, what's another, All Things Comedy. There's like 50 shows on.
Right.
So, I mean, what do you get for nothing? Nothing. You better have another energy drink. I think you're starting to fade into oblivion. So, where'd you wash that shirt at? The Wrinkle store? I mean, I know.
Winklevoss twins.
I set you up for that one. Carlos is obsessed with the co-founders of Facebook, the Winklevoss.
Oh yeah, you called me when you saw them at Equinox. You said,
yeah, because they're always there, and all they do is pull-ups. I mean, that's,
they both go.
Yeah, they moved to my neighborhood, dude. Just be cool.
Yeah, dude. You don't want to make fun of the Winklevoss twins. Trust me. This podcast will be blacklisted. Blacklist Tuesday nights with James Spader, and that's a good show. I like that show.
Nerdlist.
That's pretty good.
N-word list.
So, dude, come on, man. Play it cool. I mean, just
Dude, act like you've been somewhere
don't be an
before.
idiot. Act like you've been on a podcast before. This isn't the Alley Cats. You and Dan Katz in a kitchen asking me, Danny Katz. So, I mean, do you guys have anything you want to plug other than your ass?
I'm good.
No, yeah, I'm cool.
What? You don't have
The Earl Skiggs podcast.
no. It's Inappropriate Earl Cast.
Earl.
I don't know when this will air. This will air on iTunes and all the hip sites. The Stand Up Live. What's the website Ari has?
I don't know.
Stand Up.
I don't even know who Ari Manis is.
He's a good man, dude. He's
Is he good looking?
yeah.
I'll plug my Twitter page at
he good
CJ
looking?
Herrera.
What you got to do? You got to promote. You got to say like today. Both of you got to send out. Hey, just did, and then people it gets a buzz going.
Yeah, but you're supposed to say this when you stop recording, dude.
No. I'm saying it while we're recording, just so people get the inner workings of
Oh, I see.
how to make it, dude. I mean,
God.
this is how you promote. So you send out a tweet. Hey, had a
Can I
great
send
time.
the Esther pilot to the Rain Agency and get a rep?
I mean, dude. Tower 2 has a better chance of being rebuilt.
Tower 2.
But Esther's working it. She's on top.
She's killing it.
Yeah, I mean, she don't need my help. I need her help. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm just trying to make it before I'm 50. So
You have an hour.
I got 5. I got 5 years before I quit. So,
Jesus, dude.
Wow. And let's end this on a dark note.
Yeah, real
On a
dark.
No.
I mean, Jesus, dude. All right, so you guys got nothing to plug.
I
Nothing.
plug my Twitter page.
What's your Twitter page?
I
spell it
at CJ Herrera.
How do you spell it? At CJ
HERRERA.
and Gruber. What's your Twitter?
Glitch. But I don't tweet. Just follow Barack Obama's Twitter. That's
Right, that's
That's
at
a good one. He likes the Bulls.
Barack Obama's Twitter is at Shabadoo Quinones. Hey, I voted for half of Obama. I'll tell you that much right now. I mean, listen, I didn't vote for Obama. I saw how good the 2 black presidents did on 24. I'm like, I'd rather have a Mexican in there.
Jesus.
Hey, by the way, 24, that show, I tell you what, they're bringing it
What is
back,
this,
man.
Reno, Nevada comedy night.
They're bringing back 24. I'm super psyched. I mean, although that show jumped the shark, in my opinion, when Kiefer Sutherland got a DUI in real life and spent 48 hours in jail. I mean, that's like 70 seasons. I mean,
No, it's 2 seasons.
I know, but you got to exaggerate in
Oh.
comedy. I'm working out. This has now turned into an open mic podcast where each of us are going to do one joke. Here's what we're going to do. When
No,
this airs,
no. We're done. I gotta pee.
No, you don't. You got to
What's-
go over to you got to go over to Dee Reese's house for the
Edie Reese's.
afternoon delight. We use code names here.
No, we do.
We had to avoid several topics of discussion today because we're just trying to play it cool, and we're gonna get to those subjects when
The mics are off.
the mics are off and
Back page.
and we're just 3 guys trying to make it, and this podcast went a little longer than I anticipated, but that's because we have a lot to talk about, and we've barely scratched the surface here.
Oh, yeah, we'll have us back on.
Yeah, we're gonna have
After
you.
the Arquette episode.
We're gonna have you back on. Why don't you guys? You're such an ass kisser. That
Me? Why?
Why don't you come in when Arquette's here and
lot
try
of
and
laughs.
sell him some of your shitty scripts?
Scary movie night.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, I got a great pitch. It's
Episode 1.
Ready to Rumble 2.
Oh, that was a good movie.
It was. David Arquette at one point was a WCW heavyweight champion.
What?
Yeah, they were doing Ready to Rumble. It was a wrestling movie, and they thought for the publicity, it would be great if he actually won the WCW title. So if you look up in any wrestling book, there's Ric Flair, there's Sid Vicious, there's Kevin Nash, and then Diamond Dallas Page, DDP, and whose closing move was the Diamond Cutter, and Hulk Hogan, and then you have David Arquette as the WCW. Bill Goldberg, Jewish, who's the only Jewish heavyweight champion.
What about, there's another Goldberg, wasn't there?
No, well, there was Goldust, who was the gay character in makeup. Who are you texting? We're wrapping it up, dude. You got no one to text. What are you texting your lady?
Were you mad?
Would you text your fiance?
I was checking the weather.
Yeah, you're
cold in here.
Yeah, this podcast is ending about as good as WCW in '99. All right, guys.
Get your references.
I know, but this is the deal.
High-end 80s.
You
80s.
have
He's high-end 80s.
You have to stand out in the podcast world. I just didn't have you guys on here to go, so tell us about the state of comedy. I mean, this is the real deal.
We got to do a part 2.
We're going to do a part 2. We might even do a part 3. We might even, part 4.
What is this, an audiobook?
I mean, this podcast, I want to have Josh Martin do an audiobook of War and Peace, page 1. And coming up soon is Don Fry, legendary UFC. He fought in the first UFC, where he literally fought a taxi cab driver. I mean, are you guys into UFC at all?
Yeah, I'm into town cars. I don't really.
All right. Well, you.
Wrap this up.
Yeah, all right. I'm giving myself the light for Carlos Herrera, Eric back in the New York Gruber. I'm Earl Skakel. This is Lois. This is Lois is like my sidekick.
The lowest denominator.
That's another podcast that'll be on the John Lovitz Network. This is Earl Skakel for the Inappropriate Earl cast. I'm not sure which episode this will be. They're kind of done out of order because we're a low-budget production here at the Earl Skakel West Hollywood studio. Signing off, guys. Stay white.